sure. But first, we're going to get to this. If your home feels like an episode of, have you seen this TV show, Hoarders? It's hard to watch. If you feel like you're living that TV show, it might be time to toss out and clean up.
Look at our set here. We are hoarding some things.
Yes, we are.
Like, doesn't. But when it comes time to tossing out a thing or two, a lot of people get overwhelmed by the task. Pierrette Ashcroft is founder of Get Organized DC. She's here today to show us how we can conquer all the clutter in our lives. Good to have you here, Pierrette.
Good morning.
Yeah, First of all, what a neat name, I've got to say. I've never heard Pierrette before.
Thank you.
Very
Sounds
cool name.
kind of French.
It is.
Yeah.
Oui, oui. On to cleaning up. Now, you make it your business and your job to clean up other people's majorly dysfunctional closets, garages. And where do you even begin?
But when I go in, I don't see the mess. I can see what's underneath and the potential. So it's not overwhelming for me, and I don't have to live with it. So.
Well, that's true, but you don't have this personal connection to some of these items that these people do. So for them, it may be really hard to toss.
It can be very emotional, and that's one of the biggest things I do is help them to decide what they should keep and to help them through the emotional process, because that can be hard.
Well, what are some rules of thumb? I mean, you must have some general rules that you go by.
A really good idea is to decide ahead of time how many pieces of everything you should have. Maybe only 3 boxes of cereal. 4 lipsticks, 3 white blouses.
4 lipsticks?
As long as you don't limit my shoes.
How many shoes?
How many shoes should one have? How many shoes should a man have, first of all? Much less than us. That's why we should have more closet space.
That's right. That's right. It's individual, and you have to decide. Some women like shoes, some don't. So you can have more lipstick and less shoes, depending on what you like.
Just balance it out.
That's right.
We have some before and after pictures of work you've done, and I want to get to this because some of these are interesting. What's the first one we have, guys?
That's the closet.
Is that the closet one?
This is a closet.
A closet that's overrun with stuff.
This is a closet.
Was a big walk-in closet, and a problem with closets, people put everything behind the door. I can't tell you how many times I've gone into a home and they have bags that they had a party 2 years ago and they cleaned up and threw the bag in the closet, and it's still there. So once you close the door, you forget about it.
Yeah, nobody can see it, right? That's the trick.
Right.
So, what are you gonna say?
And then people complain that I don't have enough closet space. When maybe they do, they just have to fill it with the right stuff. So we've got the after shot here.
The after shot is actually pretty much the same amount of stuff. This was a closet for craft supplies for children and entertaining supplies, vases, extra serving platters. And I grouped everything together. I put it in bins, and then you know where things go. It's easy to find what you're looking for.
It looks great. Things are labeled. I think that's probably the biggest hint here.
Yeah. One of my favorite tools is my label maker.
Oh, is that what that is?
That
It looks like a
is.
little keyboard, a little mini typewriter.
It is. Actually, some of them can be hooked up to your computer, but
Oh, you
a
can
label
be
maker.
really, really organized with that kind of stuff.
Do you know what else I noticed in that picture of your bins? Some of them are clear plastic, which I think is great because you can actually see right away what's in there.
yeah, and you can see how much space you have left. Never fill up to the top, and also don't buy containers until you know what's going to go in.
How much stuff did you throw out of that closet? Just garbage or donations or whatever?
Not much. Most of it stayed in the closet.
Just need to be reorganized.
It just needed to be reorganized, yeah.
Okay.
All right, on to the garage.
I don't think we have a picture of the
I
garage.
thought that we had a garage.
We don't, and that is the best.
Yeah.
Oh, we do.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
I love doing garages. It's so easy. You have a big door, you open it up, and you usually have a driveway. Everything can come out, and you can arrange it by category in your driveway.
This one doesn't look too bad, but was it deep?
Oh,
yes, it does.
now.
As I look closer at this, that looks great.
That homeowner looks so happy.
She was very happy, and in the back there were boxes from when they were in college. There were books and papers, and
Everybody has that from yesteryear.
There were a lot of things that did not go back into this garage.
You know what I'm surprised is that you left the bikes standing up instead of hanging them somehow on the wall.
They had younger children and they wanted easier access. I usually encourage hooks, but they didn't want that. So
well, if they're going to be taken in and out of every day,
they can't park in the garage. So.
Okay, this is someone's bedroom. We won't say who, but yeah, a lot of stuff going on here. Open closet, kind of like a music room / study room.
What is that, a keyboard, right?
That was a keyboard. This was a young professional who didn't spend a lot of time at home, and everything was in this room.
Yep, pretty much. Ooh.
Oh,
and there's the carpet. Snap, there's the carpet.
And look how neat the closet looks. Wow.
Yeah, and the closet, all the clothes stayed, believe it or not.
What'd you do with the keyboard?
The keyboard we actually moved out into the living room, which was a better place for him to use it anyway. One thing I did in this closet was to use all the same hangers. You will be surprised with a simple thing like that, if everything is at the same height. And
that makes sense.
It just looks more unified and neater.
Wow. Now, do you
slate.
recommend those skinny hangers?
I have samples of two different hangers. I have the plastic, which are inexpensive, and the huggable hangers. Some people don't like those because you can't pull clothes off easily. So it depends on how quick you want to take the clothes off.
Well, I guess they're a space saver, though.
They are a big space saver.
We're showing a picture of a kitchen. This one doesn't look too bad. This is the before.
Yeah, this just had a lot of things on the countertop, so we didn't have a lot of space to work. So we edited out the appliances that he had, stored them underneath the in the cabinets, and now we had a lot more cabinet or counter space. There wasn't a lot of counter space to work before with all the appliances on.
Not
the
a lot of room
countertop.
for cooking or anything
That's
like
right.
that.
No. Is one of the tricks to when you have flat surfaces such as countertops to kind of just get rid of everything on top?
Yeah, not to have a lot. I think the rule of thumb is maybe 2 appliances on the countertop.
Oh, really?
And the ones that you use every day.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So
Easy access.
if you only use the toaster oven once a week, don't keep it on the counter.
Next up, we have a bathroom. This is the before.
I'm not sure whether we have the bathroom. Okay. we don't
No,
have
no
the
bathroom.
How come when I call for them, we don't? There it is. It's the delayed effect.
Okay, what was wrong with this bathroom?
Everything was on the counter. And it was a small bathroom. It was cluttered, and I like to use stacking bins, and I thought we had them here, but I don't see them.
some over on my side.
Yeah. Those are great because you can utilize the vertical space underneath your cabinet. They
Okay.
stack,
There we go.
and then
Yeah.
So you got a whole
I
bunch
use
of these
in
and they
college.
actually-
Yeah, these are perfect.
But then you're taking up the space underneath the cabinet. If you label them, they're transparent. You can see what's in them, and it's easy. It gives you a lot more.
and this is like
space
what,
inside.
$10 or under? It's not bad.
Yeah. These are inexpensive.
Isn't this in college what we used to carry to the bathroom?
No,
with all
I
our
had
shampoos in
a
it,
clear
right?
one like this for all
Yes.
my face wash and everything. It brings back memories.
Very familiar. Now tell us about some of the other stuff you brought
Yeah.
here quickly before we run out of time.
These are one of my favorite space savers in the kitchen. These are new from Rubbermaid, and all of the lids, there's 2 sizes.
Hard plastic?
It's a hard plastic, but the lids snap together.
And they stack. I
and
love
they
that.
stack, and they take up just no space at all. And one of my other kitchen is the handled basket right here. These are great, especially for those who are height challenged.
You can put basket with a handle. That's cool.
You can put it up on the shelf and pull it down. They're great if you have packets of oatmeal, small, light things, and then you just pull the whole thing out.
Yeah, because don't you always have cupboards that are too tall or
Too
something?
tall,
where
and the
you're
thing you
just
want
like
is in
this
the
trying to-
back.
Yeah. And it doesn't work out.
And what is this pretty decorative box?
These I like to use in the bedroom. I actually have a bunch of these, and I use them for socks and smaller items because I have everything on shelves. And they zip, and you can label them. So it's easy
Storage
to
unit
and they're
kept out
pretty.
in the open,
Yeah.
but looking nice.
Yeah,
Pretty
they're
and
attractive.
stylish
Yeah.
all at the same thing. Pierrette, thank you for coming in.
Oh, thank you.
Trying to organize our lives. We appreciate it.
Can you get to work on my house? right
Sure.
away?
Give her address. She'll go now. Coming up on the show, supermodel Giselle is taking on some mothers. Find out why she's splitting mothers down really in the middle on this issue.
Supermodel Giselle, we'll have to find out what she's up to.